It's that time of the year where people gather together for celebrations, networking, and generally to enjoy the season. And I have a question for you. Can you easily join in with conversations that are already in progress without feeling awkward or uncomfortable? If you can, you're in the minority. Most people look forward to the event, but they dread the thought of how are they going to join into already established conversations if they don't know that many people in the group. Today's video, we are going to look at how you can have a strategy, a step-by-step guide of how you can master these social events with calm and confidence. You will never feel awkward again. It's easy, it's doable, and I'm going to break it down today. If this sounds like something you would like to learn about, please give it a thumbs up below, and I'll share all the insider tips with you.
All eyes on me, I shine with everything I do.
Hello friends, I'm Jane. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, I really ask you to do so. It is a great indicator for me as to what you want to learn about, and it helps me come back each week so that I can motivate you to become that communicator you know you are. Let's jump in with these social gatherings. So many of them are going to be fun, and we sign up for them and we RSVP and we're so excited to go. But on the day of, we sometimes think, oh my goodness, what have I got myself into? So let's have a look at the area that most people flag as being the most difficult. And that is entering conversations with people where the conversation is established, but you don't necessarily know many people or any people in these groupings. The first thing we have to do is preparation. That won't surprise you. I'm a big believer in preparing will set you up for success. So just like you prepare for the event by thinking, what are you going to wear? Are you going to take a gift? Is there parking? How are you going to get there? Just as much as you do that preparation, you need to prepare your mind, your mindset. So you're going to visualize yourself just like the top athletes do. Before they go onto that field or pitch or court, they visualize themselves going on there with cool, calm confidence in their best, top of their game attitude. Do the same. Give yourself 2 minutes. Even if you don't think this is going to work, try it. You'll be surprised. And visualize yourself walking in there and feeling calm and in control of the situation. And maybe even a little bit excited to meet some new people. So visualize that first of all. Then write down 2 or 3 points of your positive contributions in those social settings. It could be, I'm a very good listener. I have a dry sense of humor. I ask fantastic questions. I'm genuinely curious about people. Any of those top social qualities, put them down on a piece of paper and stick them next to your mirror or next to your laptop and remind yourself, this is what I'm bringing to the event. I am going to this event and I'm going to contribute something, and I will not allow myself to be ignored. My voice is worthy of being heard, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make these social connections. So now we've got our mind right. Now we get to day of, and I'm going to move through these quite quickly because there's a few and every step counts. So the first thing, you arrive at the party, you want something to do that's going to fill the time while you just bed down. So fight the urge to jump on your phone and randomly start scrolling or anything like that. Keep your phone out of sight. Having a phone up is a literal signal to everybody else, I'm not open to socializing. This is what's important to me. So keep that phone out of sight. Easiest thing to do, if there's a station to drop off gifts, or there's somewhere to get wine or hot cocoa, or there's food tables out, head there, because it's not weird to do that on your own, and get yourself something. You do want something in your hand, either like a mug of cocoa, glass of wine, a cold drink, or a plate of food, because this is going to be your anchor. I'll explain. Once you've looked around at the table and you've got yourself a drink or whatever, you might not have spoken to anybody at that point. But as you hover at the table, I want you to scan the room and look at the groupings of people. You are looking for a smaller group of people, 3 or 4 is the sweet spot, who are standing not really shoulder to shoulder. They're standing a little bit apart from each other. And the conversation is just at a normal volume, not raucous or anything like that. A calmer group, if I can put it like that. What you're going to avoid are groups of 6, 7, 8 people. Don't try to enter a group with that many people. The conversation is going to be much harder to jump into because you've got that many more people speaking. You also don't want to go to groups where they're very tightly packed, where they're almost standing shoulder to shoulder or with their arms around each other or anything like that, because there's literally no way in. You also want to avoid those groups that are very loud, lots of laughing and heads being thrown back and, very raucous and excitable, because it's going to be harder to join them. So we've now eliminated a bunch of groups, but we've zoned in on a group, 3 or 4, having a regular conversation, smiles, bit of laughter, but just mild and with a physical space between them. That is important. I know it sounds crazy, but that's important. So now we've identified our group. The next thing you're going to do with your drink in your hand, your glass in your hand, you're going to put a smile on your face and you're going to approach that group. I know it's hard, but remember, you do not have to be the bright, shiny, interesting object here. You have to find them to be the bright, shiny, interesting objects. So walk up, smile on your face, something in your hand, and keep telling yourself, I'm curious. I wonder what they're talking about. It looks interesting, right? So you're setting yourself up for being, wow, I want to learn more. That's the signal you're giving out. As you walk up to this group with spaces, obviously one would walk toward their space, someone in the group will make eye contact with you. Trust me, it's what happens. The moment anybody even turns for a minute and sees you walking up, which is human instinct, latch onto that eye contact. Fight the urge to move your eyes away. When they look at you, look back and widen your smile, because now you've formed some sort of connection. Much easier to walk into a group when you're being drawn in by somebody looking at you. So go up to the group, still smiling, eyes bright, wide, looking at the persons or the people, but don't step into the physical space. Stay few inches outside of that gap. It's like when you arrive at someone's front door, you don't walk up to their front door and open it and march in. You knock and you wait to be invited in. So you're on the threshold, let's put it that way. You're there, you're at their house, but you haven't marched to the front door. You're waiting to be invited. So you're a few steps back. At this point, all you're doing is listening. Who's ever speaking, keep your eyes on them, smile, nod, you can lean in to show you're interested, but don't do any of the talking. So often these things go badly because someone joins a group and immediately they hijack the conversation, which aggravates everybody else who was already speaking. So walk up, stand there, smile, nod, whatever. Eventually there will be a lull because people are going to be like, okay, this person's still standing there. She's smiling, she's obviously calm. He's, totally in control, not anxious or anything. When there's a natural gap, step ever so slightly forward and you're going to introduce yourself. Now, before we speak as human beings, we give off nonverbal signals that everybody else picks up on and the energy will shift to you. Easiest thing to do, take a small breath in through your mouth and gesture with your hand. Now, a lot of people will naturally go and they'll point their finger, right? I suggest you just do this slightly like the open palm like this. And this is where you introduce yourself. You go, hi, I'm Annalise, may I join you? Right? That's all it takes. You've introduced yourself, they've heard you, they're going to say, oh, absolutely, please. I promise you nobody in the history of the world has ever said, no, you may not join us. So now you're in the group. Again, back to listening mode for a bit. Nodding, smile. Now you want to properly join the conversation. Start with questions. Questions are the easiest way because it shows curiosity about other people, and a short question will often elicit a much longer answer. So again, you're not doing the heavy lifting. You're finding them interesting. So then you would be, oh, when you were in Thailand, what did you eat? What was the best thing you did? Anything that's going to keep the conversation going. I promise you, after a minute or so of this, it will all feel natural and normal. If you still feel a bit anxious or awkward, remain in that I am the curious, supportive listener role. Nod, smile, go, yes, gee, oh, wow, or whatever, and throw in any of the who, what, when, where, why questions. And that will bring down your level of anxiety because now you're part of this group. I promise you this works. I want to end off very quickly. I'm looking at the time. I want to end off very quickly with 2 tips that I think can also help. The first one is people always say to me, do I arrive early or do I arrive late or do I try to hit it in the middle? I know you're not going to like this answer. Arrive early. Try to get there dead on time or even 5 minutes beforehand. Why? There are fewer people. It's far less intimidating. Plus, you're quite likely to find there's only groups of 2 or there are more smaller groups rather than more bigger groups. So go early. My second insider tip is if this group thing is still not going to be your first foray out into the social field, try to do a one-to-one. So when you get to where the wine is or the drinks or the hot chocolates or the coffees or whatever, the food or whatever, if you see someone else is also at that station on their own, strike up a conversation with them. Ask them something, not about themselves, but about something that's unrelated to the 2 of you, like, oh, they've got marshmallows here. I wonder how many people put marshmallows on their hot chocolates. Not something I would do, but it looks fun. Or, oh, wow, they've got so many different cookies. Anything that's going to be not related to the 2 of you that you can both focus on. The other person will answer. If you can keep that going back and forth, then you've got a buddy to leave that area with, and together you can go out into the social field and become involved in the different groups. I guarantee this all works. Please, as always, leave your comments below. If you have any tips or suggestions or ideas of what you do in these social situations that works for you, everybody would love to hear it. As always, I've got more skills. You can just jump on here that layer in perfectly with what we're learning today. Thank you so much for your time. And remember, it's a new video every Thursday, 5 p.m. New York time.